Thank you, Mr Speaker. Across all our work, this government is determined to deliver better value for money for taxpayers. That is why, Mr Speaker, shortly after we came to office, this government scrapped the party opposite's VIP helicopter service, which was a grossly wasteful symbol of a government that was totally out of touch with the problems facing the rest of the country.
VIP helicopters, taxpayers' money, and government hypocrisy. Is the current government truly saving your hard-earned money? Or is it just another case of empty promises? Today, we uncover the shocking truth behind the so-called efficiency claims of ministerial travel. Stick around because you won't believe the double standards we've uncovered. When this government came to power, they promised to put an end to wasteful spending. One of their first steps, as proudly announced, was the cancellation of the VIP helicopter service used by the opposition in the previous government. They portrayed it as a grossly out-of-touch expense that disregarded the struggles of the average taxpayer. On the surface, it seemed like a step toward better governance.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Minister refers to helicopter travel, and she has made her description of the previous government. But doesn't she agree that the government is actually using VIP helicopter travel, but not through the Ministry of Defence budget, but through the Cabinet Office budget? And doesn't that make this government grossly hypocritical and a symbol of how out of touch they are with the British public?
Minister.
Under the last government, the former Prime Minister would take the helicopters for short journeys at huge waste to the taxpayer. The Prime Minister's ministerial travel under this government is always decided with consideration for the most efficient and best use of time, and crucially in the interests of the taxpayer.
A bold declaration of their intent to prioritize the public over luxury. However, as we dig deeper, the cracks in this narrative begin to show. Recent revelations indicate that while the VIP helicopter service tied to the Ministry of Defence was scrapped, a similar service continues to operate under the Cabinet Office budget. The opposition wasted no time calling out the government for what they term gross hypocrisy. The issue at hand is not just about helicopters, it's about principles. If the government claims to be eliminating unnecessary expenses, why are similar services still in use, albeit funded from a different source? Critics argue this is merely a game of shifting costs and optics, rather than genuine fiscal responsibility. But why does this matter to you, the taxpayer? For one, these helicopters come at a significant cost, costs that are eventually borne by you. While families struggle to make ends meet amidst rising living costs, a government preaching austerity seems to be enjoying the luxury of convenience. What's more alarming is the lack of transparency. Decisions regarding ministerial travel are often justified as being in the interest of the taxpayer. Yet no detailed explanation is given about why helicopters are necessary for certain journeys or how they represent value for money. Is it truly about efficiency, or is it simply about convenience for those in power? And it doesn't stop there. When questioned about these decisions in Parliament, ministers often resort to deflective responses, blaming previous administrations for their mistakes. It's a cycle of finger-pointing that leaves the public frustrated and with little faith in the system. Here's the heart of the issue. If this government continues to prioritize its own comfort while cutting essential services and raising taxes, how can they claim to represent the public? The hypocrisy is evident, and the trust deficit is growing. Helicopters may seem like a small detail, but they symbolize a larger problem, a government increasingly out of touch with the realities of everyday Britons.